what's going on, guys? This is People Play Negative AE, and welcome to Zengeon, I think is how it's pronounced. It's Zengeon. This is actually, it looked like a cool, like, anime Japanese thing, but it's actually from China. It's kind of cool. It has kind of like a League of Legends feel, if you've ever played. I mean, it's a roguelike though, so it has a very interesting dynamic. This is going to be my third attempt that you're watching right now. I'm currently recording this after I've already played it, because this game has a lot of like clicking and button pressing, and like you're gonna hear everything ever. So I didn't want you guys to be subjected to that because my keyboard is very loud, and normally when I'm playing games it's bad, but with this game it would be even worse because the amount of clicking that you would hear is just insane. Like, you can see my mouse going crazy, just kind of like spamming the click button and attack button and stuff. You see my mouse there. So this game is interesting. So in League of Legends or other MOBAs or even Dota, the hardest thing to get used to in this game is that you don't click on enemies to attack them. So enemies will pop up as you kind of like explore the area, and you do want to explore like everywhere. And I guess the issue with it is that you try to click on the enemies to attack them, but your auto attack is actually on your Q. So you don't really auto attack. There's just no auto attack. You have to press Q to attack, and your Q is usually a combo. It's interesting. I like this character the best. There's like 5 characters I think you saw on the title screen. They all have like different skins, but they're the same character. The skin doesn't change how they act. It just, you get a skin for the character sometimes, which I guess shows how much you've played the game. I played this other girl before, and maybe I should have left her in, but I was just not good with her. She had like ranged moves, and the problem with her is like she had melee moves with ranged moves. And I guess you were supposed to use the melee moves if they got close, but the melee moves didn't really knock them away. It just kind of like meleeed them. So you had like a half melee kit, half range kit. In the range kit, you had to like aim your skills. So even your auto attack, you had to like aim at things. Meanwhile, like a lot of stuff in this game is like also ranged. So it's like you can't really stay at a distance either, because these other ranged things will have like battles with you. So this guy is definitely the best guy because he has like full melee attacks and full melee ultimates, and you don't really have to worry about switching between range and melee. It's just kind of like you go up in their face and you press buttons, right? And that's basically my style of play. I don't like thinking very much, as all of you know. You also there's like an item system. This game is interesting. There's like an item system. The one thing that you'll notice is that my health bar is on fire currently. Basically right next to the health bar, there's like a potion thing. You get a total of 5 potion uses, and then you're done for the entire game. So you don't want to use your potion if you can. So healing is insane in this game. If you can find an item that heals, you take it, because using your healing flask is not advised. The only way to refill your healing flask, if you want to refill it, is by getting another use item and sacrificing it to get 1 charge. And you don't really find that many use items a lot, so basically the rule of thumb is that you'll never get another one, so you should just save all of them as best you can. But the health flask does like heal you like by 50, I think, or by 50%. So it's like a good heal, but it's also like annoying. Yeah, I've been away for a while. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know. I feel like I've been slowly drifting away from YouTube as my YouTube stuff is going on. Just a lot of like outside stuff and whatnot. It doesn't mean I'll stop doing YouTube necessarily. Like I still want to record stuff. I just don't know how consistent I'm gonna be with it. You know. Sometimes I see a really cool game and I'm like, I have to play that. I'm gonna wait to play that for the channel, and then I have like a backlog of like 100 games that I want to play for the channel, but then I don't. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with me. I think it's maybe the like Like I feel like a lot of like it's been 7 years, guys. Like I've been recording videos and uploading videos for 7 years, and although I'm not very good at it, still after 7 years, which shows you my skill at it. I also feel like maybe I'm like I've realized as I've grown older that I don't have a lot of skills. I spent all my time when I was a kid playing video games, and most of my time as an adult, 7 years of my time as an adult, recording YouTube videos playing video games. And I realized that like a lot of the time I haven't been developing any skills. So it's kind of like um, YouTube is one of those things that maybe is wasting my time a little bit, but I still love to do it because I love like talking with people. But I always feel guilty recording YouTube videos nowadays because it's like I've spent, you know, like how longer am I gonna cling to playing video games as a living, you know? I don't know. But they're always still fun to me, so I always buy a bunch of games, which is probably a bad habit of mine to play for the channel. So you know, maybe one of these days I'll just kind of like whenever I get free time, like I just happen to get free time because it's the weekend, so I don't have to go to work or anything. I can just kind of like talk and stuff. There's an interesting item system in this game. So you have like storyline items that I guess are permanent. I don't know. And then you have all the items in your hotbar, which are like also equipped, but temporarily. So you can like kind of like any roguelike, you gather a bunch of items and then get synergies going on. I like the ones that like heal you if you do damage with an ability. I think those are like really good. Like if you can find one that like you heal off of your Q, it's really good because like you use your Q pretty much consistently. Like you can, if you look down at my bottom bar, you can see the Q going off like crazy because it's my basic attack. Without it, I would be terrible. But yeah, this guy's interesting also because although he is melee and all you have to do is run up and press buttons, you have to really watch your health because you're just in the thick of all the enemies. So sometimes they'll just get bursted down. So you really have to like pay attention to like what you're doing. I'm trying to figure out what item. I take forever to buy items in this game. I like this because it creates an explosion equal to 100% of the something damage. Skill damage, yeah. It's really good. It's a guaranteed chance that you have an explosion when an enemy dies, so that's good. The other one was like a chance to get something, which I don't think is very good. I'm going with the classic. I don't know if you guys also do this in any roguelike that you ever play, but I always go with the classic, like I'm gonna explore every single area now. I think when I first started playing like roguelites, I would just like go straight to the exit because it's like crap, I don't want to deal with this scary shit, right? Like this, like I'm gonna die. But like as I've grown, I've been I've slowly learned that you want to explore literally every inch of every area because if there's ever a pathway that's like out of the way, it probably has like some treasure or shit in it that'll help you like win the battle. It's definitely something that a trait that I've picked up over time rather than something that I started doing. I also like this guy's ultimate. It's like a giant like. This is all based on like Chinese mythology, which is interesting. Most of my mythology knowledge comes from Smite when I used to play like Smite Moba. Like as stupid as that game is, it does teach you a lot about like other mythologies. And then you see like a god that you really like in Smite, and then you want to know more about them, so you look them up. So a lot of these like Chinese gods are like I know of, but I don't know necessarily their lore. I know Wukong specifically because of Dragon Ball Z. Just because Wukong is like Goku. I mean the Super Saiyans or whatever, I guess. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen Dragon Ball Z. And Naruto. I'm watching My Hero currently. My Hero's sick. I'm very much a weeb. I'm like an adult weeb. That I've been watching cartoons my entire life. I feel like a kid. I've been playing video games my entire life. I've been watching anime my entire life. I've been watching cartoons. Avatar: The Last Airbender is the best cartoon of all time. It's like I'm very surprised. Korra, not as good. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but I feel like Korra gets wrecked in all her fights. And the Avatar like wins most of his fights. Not to spoil like Korra for you, but like I feel like Korra is like a significantly weaker person. Not to say that she doesn't do some sick stuff. Well, okay, so that's not true. I feel like lore-wise, like if you took her at what she's supposed to be, she would be stronger than the original Avatar. I don't know. Now I'm just talking about stuff, shit that doesn't matter. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Avatar is also based off of Chinese lore, isn't it? Isn't it? Or is it based off of, you know what I think it is? I think it's based off of like Chinese, Japanese. I think it combines a bunch of cultures, like the Fire Nation's like, I think the Fire Nation's Japanese. I think the Earth Nation is like, I don't know. I have no idea. I think I saw a YouTube video at one point that was like, these are the, I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, back to this game. So let me explain my thought process here. So basically, when you get 2 of a thing in this game, it upgrades to level 2. And so I was like, you know what? I see that mirror there, and I really like the mirror. I'm just kind of looking at all the items first. I see the mirror there. I really like the mirror because the mirror heals you, I believe. And I want to get level 2 mirror because I like healing. So the way that you trade with this man is you offer up an item and then you pay 50. You pay 50 gold. And then what'll happen is you'll get whatever item you select. So I do. So I'm like, okay, I want that mirror. So let's select something that maybe I would want to get rid of. But the problem is I don't know exactly how this works because I don't know. Can I'm currently looking at my editor while recording this. Select a spirit from your inventory to exchange. Yeah. And then you exchange it. It doesn't tell you that anything else will happen. But then it doesn't upgrade to level 2. It stays at level 1. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? What the fuck did I just do that for? I don't understand. So, I don't know. I have no idea how that guy works. I thought that I would get that, but I did not. And I'm not going to give up another item to get his dumb ass. So I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. Just upgrade my ability and then I'll be on my way. This really is just League of Legends with items. You're basically building your League of Legends character. You have unlimited item slots and you're going through a roguelike. I think League of Legends should introduce something like that. I feel like that would be a cool game mode. Where it's like a roguelike, it's a single player mode, you fight minions or whatever, but then you just keep going until you die, and it's like an unlimited item pool, and you just kind of you like choose to get like different items in that, whatever. It's been a while since I played League of Legends. It used to be like my favorite, until I realized that it's a stupid game and no one should ever play in their lives. But yeah, I mean, I've been on kind of like a Moba kick recently, which is why I thought this game was interesting, because it kind of combines my 2 things. Like, I think because Pokemon Unite came out, it kind of refueled something in the stuff. By the way, you guys playing Pokemon Unite? I don't know what my audience plays really. I know a lot of you play like roguelikes and stuff. A lot of you found me via Vagante, so I wonder like what else you play besides Vagante. Do you play just roguelikes or do you play like other things? And if you didn't find me via Vagante, what style game do you play? I'm pretty sure there's maybe one person. what other games do you play? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I have very little understanding of my base. I just kind of play roguelikes and. What else do I play? I mean, I play a lot of stuff. I play pretty much everything. I think as I've grown older, I've started to dislike. I used to love like long form, like walls of texts, like freaking stories. But I think as I've gotten older, I've sort of I sort of don't want that anymore. So yeah, every time you see that little prompt pop up on my screen, I'm deciding whether I want to keep an item or if I want to get a health potion charge for my bottom left. I probably should have gotten a potion charge, but this other item also heals. So I learned pretty quickly that the more healing you can have, the better. So I just wanted to get healing. So now I have 2 healing items essentially in my arsenal. So that way, in case I need to heal, hopefully I can heal no matter what. Is my goal. Although, if I'm being honest with myself, maybe I should have just gone with like the crazy heal, because this heal that I have, the second heal, is just kind of like a slow regen heal, which is fine. It helps when I'm like fighting a bunch of enemies, but like it also doesn't heal that much. But that was not very much of a heal. So in hindsight, it would have been better to go with another healing class. But who knows? What do I know? I just got this game. That's another thing that I do, is I always feel like I should be like decent at it because I've been playing roguelikes forever. But that's not how roguelikes work. Also, you'll see that I keep spawning shields around me. That's because of my item. I don't know, I think it makes me stronger while I'm inside it, and it also stops enemies from firing projectiles outside of it, which is nice, but it's also kind of like a clusterfuck whenever I get into fights, because like 50 walls spawn. I don't know. I'm just checking, so this is thunder damage. I'm checking to see if I have any thunder damage, and I don't think I do. But in case I do, I figure which one I go for here. Yeah, my thought process was, in case I have thunder damage later on, I have 40% extra of it, so this will be nice in the long run. But yeah, this is me just exploring. This isn't the only area, by the way. I know this kind of looks like it's kind of dumb because it's the only area, but you just stay in the area for a long time. I don't know if it's like Risk of Rain, because they give you a timer up top where they're like, hey, look at this timer. But I don't know if that means that like it's harder with time, or if it's just kind of like a speedrunning thing. Excuse me. But Risk of Rain has kind of conditioned me to be afraid of timers, when I don't know if it necessarily matters that much. What I will say about this game, and while I like this game, I feel like it feels a little indie game-ish. It has kind of like that indie game jank feel to the controls a little bit. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like after kind of having played like a bunch of indie games, you kind of like feel like it looks nice, but when you get into the game, you can kind of feel the jank a little bit. And then also, you'll see here when we get to a new area, because we're about to finish this level, and then I think there's a boss? Don't quote me on that. Yeah, there's a boss at the end of this. And then you'll see what I mean. Even though I haven't explained what I mean. So I can either take this item or go take another healing thing, and I have to take another healing flask because I'm down to 4, I think, right now. I also have none of the 2 healing, which is fine. It's all about managing your healing in this game because there's so little of it, so if you can just keep getting healing and healing and healing. You know what I do like about this game, though, is that there's different characters and stuff. I've always liked the idea that, like the Binding of Isaac Enter the Gungeon deal, where you have, like, multiple characters, you have multiple abilities and stuff. There's a lot of roguelikes out there. where you just play one character and that's it. That's your only character, and you kind of level them up. Then that's cool, but it's not as cool as like this person is extremely different than this person. That's my favorite shit. Is like when you have like a person that's like this game is probably the most extreme example of that, where like if you play another person, it is not the same game. Like the other range girl, like is not, you are not playing the same way. I'm waiting for my ult to come back just in case this spawns a bunch of enemies. But it does not, which I was surprised by. But yeah, this game is like the truest form of the case where like if you play somebody, you're not going to be playing the same game, because the range girl that you have, or that I played before, because you can only play 2 people off the bat. I think when you defeat the first level, so when you get to the boss here, you get new characters that you can play. So I have not played those still. I just kind of stopped after recording playing this. But I can only imagine how much different they are compared to the other. You have to be real creative to come up with like different characters that work in the same thing without being unbalanced. Yeah, so, but besides the jank in this thing that you'll see later, it's not a bad game. It's tough. I will say, like I said, this is my 3rd attempt at the beginning. This game is like tough when you first get into it, just because, like I said, the game is a little jank, so you have to kind of get used to it. Once you get used to it, it's kind of good. And then I also feel like this character's like wildly better than the girl is, so you have to be careful. This is Zengeon, I think his name is. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like I said, I know him from Smite. I know he's like a tank in Smite. But I don't know necessarily too much about him. I'm always interested in like mythology and stuff. I feel like mythology was like cool religion, you know? Because like when I think of religion right now, I think of like boring like church things. But when I think of like mythology, which is basically religion back then, I think of like cool magic and shit and explosions and like different universes and worlds. Like I feel like we like lost some creativity somewhere down the line, because like Norse mythology, Greek mythology, they're like cool. Chinese mythology, Japanese mythology even is really cool. Korean mythology, which is basically, I mean, I think all the Asian mythologies are kind of like, same thing with the Greek and Roman mythologies, are kind of like stolen from each other. I feel like the Norse mythology is really original. Like they just like, they had like a big like think tank, and they were like, you know what? Let's just come up with like really cool shit. I like Norse mythology a lot, in case you weren't aware. But yeah, this is Yang Chan. He kind of has like a predictable pattern. He reminds me of like a, I don't know if any of you have played Persona Strikers. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's an enemy kind of like this in that. But yeah, that was a whatever. And also you get both of these, which I thought was cool. I thought you were just gonna get one of the chests, but no, you get 2 chests. I think I go with the, oh no, I go with the damage to afflicted status things. I don't even know if I have, status, I don't know what's going on. I see healing, I take it, probably. Anything with healing is like insane. Okay, so we're about to go to the next level. You saw me defeat the boss. Here's the thing that I dislike. Is like, okay, so it's going to change scenery. This is nice. Look at this. So cool. It's a new change of scenery. The world looks a little bit different. The generation is kind of like rockish instead of blocky. So I like that. That's cool. It's a cool change of pace. But the enemies are exactly the same. There's no difference. They have a different skin. The enemies basically went to like the thrift store and like changed their look, and we're like, we're not gonna change a thing about our abilities. Like at least change who the enemies are. And I think that's the main reason I'm not playing this game after the fact, is because it's kind of the same over and 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 over again. Although I don't know that, because I haven't obviously played every level. Like I die at some point. But from what I've seen, like these guys are just the sniper guys from the previous level, but disguised as spiders this time. And this guy's he's literally shaped the same and still like blows up. The difference being there's these golden chests that you can pay money for, but then they spawn level 14 bosses that you have to fight. So that's cool. That's great. And I think I only have one potion flask down there. So I'm trying to like play it really safe now. I like how like what's funny about me is like I'll play completely, but I don't realize how much health I have until I have like no health left, and then I'll start playing super cautiously. I do that in everything that I do, right? It's like oh, I have enough health to do everything, and then I won't start playing cautiously until I get to low health. And that's when I start trying to play smart, when really I should just try to play smart the entire time. But instead I'm like, you know what? Reckless abandon, I have full health. And it's like, oh, I have low health, time to concentrate and make sure that I don't take damage. I do that in every game. It's probably quite frustrating to watch. Because I just do it all the time. I do it in card games, I do it in everything. Speaking of card games, you know what card game just popped in my head? Is freaking the Binding of Isaac one. I forget what it's called. Four something? It's not Four Swords, because that's the freaking... That's the Zelda. Four Souls? Something Souls? Is it Four Souls? Anyway, it's a good card game. I liked it a decent amount. It's very unique. Also, I'm trying to take this thing multiple times, but it won't let me until I upgrade an ability. So, in case you're wondering what's happening here. Yeah, I have a lot of board games, but no one will play them with me, dude. I freaking, you know what I did is like, so my parents are separated, and so every so often I'll have to bring my siblings to and fro, because they hate each other or whatever. But the main point being is I'd always like hang out with my mom for a day, and hang out with my dad for a day. And, you know, I would always bring these board games, and me, my mom, and like, you know, my siblings, we would all play like a board game. But the problem with my family is like, I'll win a board game, and if I win a board game, they'll never want to play that board game ever again. And then I'm like, but guys, you can also win the board game. And then they're like, nah, you'll always win that board game forever now. And so like I have all these board games, and once I win, they're just like, no, I don't want to play that game anymore. So I have like board games like Call to Adventure, I have like Splendor, I have like Alphabetic Heroes, I have like Warriors, I have like Trash Pandas, there's even this board game called How to Slay, which is pretty sick. I have the Plague Inc. board game. I have all these board games. I even have Battleship. I even have fucking Battleship. Like the classic board game. I mean, albeit it's not that fun. But come on, it's like random. Like, you can't attribute my win in Battleship to skill. It's just kind of like, I guess, the correct point. Like, it's not like I'm so much better than you that you could not win the game. You know? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not a god at anything. In fact, I'm very much terrible at everything. But people are just like, nah, you won once at a board game. You're obviously a god at that game, and that will never, ever play that board game ever again. And so now I'm just stuck with like a bunch of board games that like I want to play, but I can't play with anybody because my family is like the only one that I would play them with. And I don't have anybody like living with me that I would play with besides like, no, I don't have anybody. So now I'm here with all these board games. But then it's also like, do I have time to play board games with anyone else anyway? The whole reason I bought the board games in the first place was to hang out with my family on that day that I'd bring the kids over to from house to house, you know? I don't know. I also used to play D&D a lot, but I don't do that anymore just because it's like time consuming. There's a lot of stuff. I'm trying to develop all of my skills, and I have a job now. I'm trying to make money. I had gotten a job earlier, but I hated that job, and now I got a new job. This job is much better, but it's. I also don't want to like stay at this job. I want to like get good at drawing. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, which I know you haven't, because there's only like 2 people on here that follow me on Twitter. But if you want, if you want to see me post more often, like go check my Twitter account. Like I post all the time, just my art. I'm trying to get better. When I was a kid, I was always like, I want to draw anime. But I was always bad, so I would always like stop after a week. I would always stop playing after a week, or stop trying. And because I would draw a human and it would look like a glob. And so I was just like, fuck this, dude. I'm not gonna draw anymore. And so when I got older, I was like, that's stupid of me to do that. I should just continue drawing. And so I committed myself. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw for 100 days. Like that's a long time, but if I want to get good at drawing before I die, I'm gonna have to draw all the time. So I was like, I'm gonna draw for 100 days. Bucket list. This is my bucket list. If I don't do this before I die, I'm gonna be super sad, right? Super sad. If I'm not good at drawing before I die, I'm gonna be so sad. So I challenged myself 100 days. I did it for 100 days, and then I was like, you know what? I can do 200 days. Did it for 200 days, and now I'm getting close to 300 days, almost a year. And I've gotten better. It's not great yet, like at all by any means. Like I can tell that they're humans that I'm drawing now, you know. And I like drawing eyes, and it's cool to like see my improvement a little bit, but it's definitely like I haven't even been doing it a year yet, and so you can definitely tell that I'm not good at it yet. But I feel like I'm better than a lot of people, you know. This is kind of the first skill where I can see other people's drawings and flaws and stuff, and kind of work at it. I don't know. I have no more healing, so I'm just kind of going ham as I possibly can. And 32 minutes though. This is a really long time to survive. And because I cleared the first boss, I get to unlock a couple different characters. Like I get this umbrella girl, and I also get this like witch lady. So I don't know. If you guys are interested in this, yeah, maybe I'll play it again. It was kind of interesting when I played it. I also have some other games though that I like to play. Like I don't know if you guys want to see like Mini Metro. I was actually I didn't know if I was gonna like Mini Metro, but I ended up liking it a lot. But yeah, I mean, if you're stuck around to this point, hello. I apologize for not uploading as much. I plan to finish When They Cry, but I don't even know if it's worth it at this point. If you're still interested in that, let me know. It's probably gonna go black screen in a second because I'm gonna talk too long in this outro. Listen, I I I feel like I've been doing this for a while, and I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Um, I just realized I didn't have any skills left, and I don't have anything to my name, and I spent a lot of time trying to make dreams come true when maybe it was the unwise thing to do. You always hear about like the success stories on YouTube, how like it's, you know, after year 3 I was skyrocketing, or it took me 4 years and I got lucky, and I'm out here 7 years, and it's like, well, you have to know when to like toss your hat in and be like, okay, I can't put all of my time into this anymore. I have to like go and realize when things maybe aren't working out. I'm not good at this. I've never been good at this. I'm not good at keeping promises when I'm like, I'll play this game forever because I like this game, and then I just end up not doing it. I'm not good at commentary. I put ums in my sentences all the time. I do all this stuff, and I feel like it's maybe time for me to realize that it's not for me, which is why I haven't been uploading every day. And I kind of realized that when I came back, I was like, this is this is maybe not working a little bit. So yeah, I'm here still. I don't want to leave my YouTube channel per se. I always hate when there's no what's the word? No update. Like someone just leaves. Let this video show that I'm not just leaving. It might be months between uploads. It might. It might be weeks. It might be maybe I upload tomorrow. But it's definitely not something I'm putting 100% of my time in as of now. But I hope that I can still talk with you guys, and maybe if you stick around, we can be good friends for a long time. I've enjoyed meeting some of you. I'll never forget names like May May. I miss you. I wish you'd come back. You know, Daniel, I appreciate you. There's like a whole bunch of people. Like I could go on for days naming everybody. Those are just the people off the top of my head. Um, I could go on forever, and I appreciate all of you that are watching. I'll be in the comments for a long time. Honestly, if you comment on any of my YouTube videos, I'll see it, and I'll reply to you probably, because I'm still here. I'm just not necessarily spending all my time recording anymore. I appreciate you watching. Nonetheless, thank you for being a friend throughout my career on this website and whatnot. And I hope to see you in many videos to come if you're still interested in this kind of stuff. Um, I hope you're all doing well. Take care of yourselves. It's good to get outside every so often. I was depressed for a long time, so I know how it feels if you are in that kind of headspace. Um, just take some time to yourself. Life really is about finding out why you're not happy, because you should just a perfect life is just be happy, so it's like, why am I not happy? What's going on? And you kind of have to figure that out, and just kind of uh get happy. Life is pointless. Just figure out what makes you happy and do that for the rest of the time that you're here. That's pretty much where I'm going with it. You know? Anyway, I probably made this outro too long. I hope to see you guys in the next episode, whatever that may be, and peace out, you guys.